Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, GMB Show. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. It was an ordinary Tuesday morning at the bustling ITV studios, the air tingling with the usual mix of coffee aroma, chatter, and camera whirs. Viewers at home sipped their tea, scrolling through social media, waiting for their daily dose of lively conversation, celebrity interviews, and lighthearted entertainment. The host, Shephard, was the picture of calm confidence, his signature grin at the ready, polished suit impeccable, and demeanor effortlessly charming. But unbeknownst to the audience, this particular episode of This Morning was about to become unforgettable. Ben was seated across from the day's guest, a renowned chef with a new book launching. The segment was intended to be cheerful and light, a discussion sprinkled with culinary anecdotes and a few laughs about kitchen disasters. The cameras rolled, and everything seemed perfect. But then, during a casual exchange about favorite holiday traditions, something unexpected happened. Ben's hand hovered over his coffee cup, his smile slightly faltering for just a fraction of a second, a moment so fleeting most viewers would have missed it. But those who were paying attention noticed the subtle change in his expression. It wasn't shock or fear, it was something far more intriguing. "Do you ever feel like some things are better kept secret?" the chef asked, laughing. "I mean, I've burned a few turkeys in my time, but I can't imagine anyone seeing that." Ben chuckled politely, but his eyes betrayed a spark of unease, a glint of hesitation. "Well, sometimes secrets have a way of slipping out," he replied, almost too softly to hear. The audience, both in the studio and at home, sensed the tension. The camera shifted slightly, catching the subtle furrow in Ben's brow, the almost imperceptible widening of his eyes. Social media, as if on cue, began buzzing with speculation. Viewers paused their streaming devices. Clips of the segment started circulating with captions like, "Wait, did Ben just hint at something?" and "His face says it all." It was a moment of pure, unplanned vulnerability, a crack in the polished exterior of one of television's most composed personalities. And what followed was nothing short of extraordinary. Ben leaned in, his voice steady but carrying an edge of sincerity that was rarely seen on morning television. "Actually, there is something I've been meaning to share. It's not huge, but I suppose it's time it comes out." The studio went silent. Even the cameras seemed to hold their breath. I've been working on a personal project for the past year. Something completely different from television, something close to my heart, and it's finally ready to be revealed. The chef blinked, intrigued. "Oh, do tell." Ben hesitated for just a moment, letting the anticipation build. It's a children's book, a story about courage, kindness, and the unexpected ways we can impact someone else's life. I've written it, illustrated parts of it myself, and it will be released this autumn. The audience erupted, not with the usual polite applause, but genuine surprised delight. Ben's colleagues on set exchanged knowing smiles, clearly aware that this revelation was personal, meaningful, and entirely unscripted. "What inspired you to do this?" the chef asked, leaning forward. Ben's face softened, his gaze drifting for a moment as if recalling a cherished memory. "I wanted to give something back. You see, growing up, I loved reading stories. They shaped who I am. And now, being in a position where I can create something for children to spark imagination and joy, it felt like the right thing to do." The segment continued, but the energy in the room had shifted. Ben's secret was no longer a mystery. It had transformed into a heartfelt announcement, connecting him to the audience in a way few expected. Social media exploded. Hashtags like "Ben Shephard revealed" and "Morning TV secret" began trending within minutes. Clips of his subtle facial expressions went viral. The tiny twitch of a smile, the slight raising of an eyebrow, the way his eyes lit up with quiet pride. By lunchtime, news outlets had picked up the story. Headlines screamed, "Ben Shephard's secret project, ITV star turns author," and "the morning show moment that left everyone speechless." Viewers commented endlessly about his expressive face during the segment, remarking how it had said more than words ever could. But behind the scenes, Ben was reflecting on something more profound than the sudden media frenzy. The experience had reminded him of the importance of authenticity, of sharing pieces of oneself even when it felt vulnerable. The way his expression had conveyed excitement, hesitation, and pride, all in a matter of seconds, was a testament to the power of genuine emotion. Later that evening, as Ben scrolled through the countless tweets and Instagram posts about the segment, he smiled. There were the usual playful memes, of course, but also messages from fans expressing gratitude, sharing stories of how his openness had inspired them to pursue their own dreams. A small child's drawing of a character from his upcoming book even made its way to his inbox, a reminder that this secret project had already begun to make a difference. The moment, captured live on television, became more than a fleeting headline. It was a lesson in the subtle art of expression, of how sometimes a look can convey more than 1,000 carefully chosen words. Ben's face in those brief, unguarded moments had told a story of courage, hope, and creativity, a story that resonated far beyond the bright lights of the studio. And so the ordinary morning show had turned extraordinary, reminding everyone watching that sometimes the smallest gestures, the twitch of a smile, the glint in an eye, can spark the biggest revelations. Ben Shephard's secret was out, but in that revelation, something much larger had emerged. A connection with his audience, a glimpse into his true self, and a reminder that even the most composed personalities have layers waiting to be discovered. As the credits rolled and the studio lights dimmed, Ben leaned back in his chair, exhaling slowly. The world outside was buzzing, but inside he felt a quiet satisfaction. A secret had been shared, a story had been told, and his face had truly said it all.